Yo, what is going on YouTube? Radar25 here, back with another video, takeaways from Elimination Chamber. For this show, we have 3 takeaways. So 3 takeaways from Elimination Chamber that happened last night. Radar25 here, and my co-host, Fuentemania, aka Michael, whatever the fuck you want to call him, but he's there.
What up, Marks in 4K again?
Yeah, in the 4K. So we're going after going over Elimination Chamber, right? I really enjoyed this pay-per-view. This is kind of the ones that get lost in between because it is a spectacle pay-per-view because it's surrounded. It's based on one match or 2 matches in this case. It's the Chamber everybody cares about. That's the big thing on the card. But I really liked a lot of these matches. Very physical matches. Everybody was laying their shit in every single match. And, you know, guys really did a good job. I feel like because this is an in-betweener between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, people really try to show out in this pay-per-view because it seems it's billed as like a smaller pay-per-view if you're not in the chamber, right?
Yeah.
So really good match. Really good matches from top to bottom, minus maybe just one wasn't really all that good. But
it wasn't the guy's fault.
Yeah, it wasn't the guy's fault. It's more of a story behind it. But really good pay-per-view. I really enjoyed it. So before we get into this video, I want to remind you guys to drop a like on this video, the ones beforehand and the ones upcoming, which is Monday Night Raw coming out tonight or tomorrow. Want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button, notification bell, so you guys aren't missing one damn thing we are putting out, wrestling related, video game related, streams, all that stuff. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, links in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Our 3 takeaways from Elimination Chamber. All right, guys. So the first match of the night, which was mine and yours, right? Favorite match?
Especially because I expected not much from the match, only because it felt like they were just throwing a storyline together with 2 weeks before the match. So
yeah, I mean, nice. I kind of felt differently. Like I felt like it was going to be a good match because you know these guys and you know how good they are in the ring. Like I wasn't like expecting it to be a bad match. I was expecting it to be a good match, but I just didn't feel like there was enough story behind it.
Yeah, like I wasn't excited. Like I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting it to,
because the story wasn't grabbing you.
Yeah, but the guys made a story in the ring that just made you care and made you want to see more of this stuff.
Yeah. So the match was Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. Obviously, you know, the story has been Drew Gulak's, you know, has been studying Daniel Bryan for years, so he knows all of his weaknesses, and he tried to get, Heath Slater, try to teach Heath Slater how to beat Daniel Bryan. So then Daniel Bryan eventually challenges Drew Gulak to this match. Now, this was a really good match. Aggressive, technical, a lot of moves being in and out, you know, guys getting in and out of moves. At the beginning of the match, like you said before, it was, it was like Daniel Bryan was frustrated during the match, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, it's just he was cocky going into the match, and then he's like, Gulak started reversing moves on him, and you can tell he was getting frustrated. And it was a good story because it's like, damn, he really does know my moves. And all of a sudden, he had to change it up. And then midway through the match, he starts working a body part, gets in the head. You start feeling about the neck. There was a crazy German suplex that.
Yeah. I want to talk about German suplex because that German suplex scared the shit out of me, right? So he grabs him. He grabs Daniel Bryan and does her German suplex. It seemed like Daniel Bryan was supposed to do like a somersault out of it and land on his feet. I guess he maybe didn't tuck enough and he landed right on his neck. And you know, with the past issues he's had with concussions and neck injuries, it was kind of scary. So I'm not sure if it was a planned spot to be like that or it just he took it like super high, like he looked like he was supposed to tuck and land on his feet.
And he's so good, he probably did that on purpose just to make you think because there was a point in the match where he starts grabbing his fingers, like trying.
Oh, he was shaking him and moving him like that. Yeah,
just pulling him. I think it was more of a sell job just to make you feel it. Like he knows he has that tool in the back of his thing where if they hit his neck, he can sell it. Yeah, like crazy, and everybody's gonna think, "Oh my God, it's the end of Daniel Bryan again."
Yeah. It's an easy sell for him because it has all that history behind it. Yeah.
And like, I'm a sucker for a technical matchup. Like that's my bread and butter. Like I'm a big Bret Hart mark. I mean, I think of him with him and Owen, him versus Mr. Perfect, like those classic matches. And this was kind of in that set where they told a great story.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there were Lander shit in. There was good submissions. The submissions, like I love when a guy's fighting while the guy's trying to put the move on him, he's not just taking it. Like it's like that's not realistic.
Yeah, they were fighting in and out of moves and trying to get out of these submissions.
It was so good. And there was a point where they were like they were holding their legs. They were just kicking each other in the face.
Yeah, it was a good spot. It was a good spot.
And Gulak got a nice shiner on the thing. It was good. They were laying their shit in. It was awesome. I want to see more of these guys.
Yeah, this set the tone for the rest of the pay-per-view because, like I said, these guys everybody was laying everything in. The women included. Everybody was laying everything in. All their moves looked super crisp, snug. They were hitting each other. Some live rounds being thrown every once in a while, but it was really good. And you know, there was another part where it was a high angle suplex hit by Drew Gulak, which that landed, Daniel Bryan on his neck, and that's when he started, what you were saying, pulling on the fingers and kind of messing with his hand and everything like that. But you look at Daniel Bryan's back; he had some welts back there, so it was a very physical match, but really, really good put together match. Daniel Bryan hits Gulak with the yes lock and makes Gulak pass out, not tap out. He passed out in the middle of the ring. So Gulak really got the rub in this match. It really showed off his skills.
And he's a Philly boy. He had the Flyer colors on in his shorts, so he was pulling the hometown vibe. Yeah. But both guys really just that match will always work in wrestling. The way that match was styled, that can work in any era from 40 years ago to now to 40 years from now. That's the type of match that always works. It's and you can't see through it. Like there's nothing in the match where you can be like, oh, that was kind of fake. Like those guys really kicking their ass.
It was a realistic match. Yeah, realistic.
It was a realistic match. All their work was snug. Everything looked really good. And you can really say if there was some person never saw wrestling before, they didn't know if it was real or fake, they would say that's real.
Yeah,
that's real shit.
But one of the things I want to touch on too is that I remember a match when it was Kurt Angle versus the man you're not supposed to say his name, but Chris Benoit. They had a match that started. It was all real technical, mat-based wrestling, and then they went too long with it, and the crowd shit on it. They were like, boring.
I liked it.
And then they had to change it. But the good thing is that they did that, but they also threw in a lot more physicality into it, where it came off as like, okay, they're doing a lot of technical wrestling, but they're throwing live rounds and hitting each other hard in between certain spots, and they're really trying to get out of every move. So to me, it translated better than that match did, which is the match I'm talking about between Angle and Chris Benoit, which they started the match like that. And I feel like they had to change it up because the crowd shit on it. So I think they went too long with the mat-based amateur wrestling. Because remember, this is more of technical submission style wrestling. The other one I'm talking about was more like amateur wrestling type stuff.
Like
so
that's why amateur style.
Yeah, amateur. So it didn't translate that well. So they should have just, when I go back to that match, I talk about like they should have incorporated more punches, kicks, and more hard-hitting stuff like this match did. Started off technical, but it also threw in a lot of physicality and stuff like that. So it was overall best match of the night, hands down, right?
I think so. I'm excited to see this maybe in the next SmackDowns or maybe for us. I mean, maybe it might not make WrestleMania, but or like a pre-show, but you have to have Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. So
exactly.
I think that's a great match, and they have chemistry. It's two guys that know how to go.
Yeah. Next match, Andrade versus Humberto for the U.S. title. This is another match I like too, and I really like the finish of the start of it because it started Andrade going for a boot to the face of Humberto. Humberto sidesteps it, but as he's sidestepping it, here comes Andrade with that back elbow and cracked him right in the face. Most of it was
Judas effect.
Yeah, basically the Judas effect. Most of it was like tricep, but it looked really, really good on TV. So
especially live without the replay.
Yeah, exactly. I really like Andrade's sense of urgency in this match because he was hitting moves and immediately going for pinfalls and staying on top. So I really like that. There wasn't a ton of pandering from him to the crowd.
No.
Couple highlights from the match where Humberto hit a cool springboard headbutt on Andrade in the beginning part of the match. He had a nice top rope hurricanrana on Andrade too. That swanton he hit out of the ring on top of Andrade over the ref.
Yeah.
So it was a cool visual. Yeah, you've seen that like a million times, but the visual of him doing it over the top of the ref.
He's a big guy. He's not like a small
he's got some size to him.
I would say he's 6'2". I would say
something
like that. I mean, 2 something. I mean, he's a big boy and he flies.
He's not small. Yeah, but he's
got springs in his legs.
Very, very athletic guy. Yeah. Cool pin exchange that they had towards the end of the match where they were just rolling each other into small packages and victory rolls and all stuff like that. Yep. Eventually, through that exchange, Andrade gets the pin holding the tights of Humberto. So there's still a little bit of a gripe right there because he cheated at that point to win. But you were telling me before that you like the whole pulling the mat off the floor thing.
Yeah, because it's like that's been the gimmick of their feud and just keeping it alive. And I mean, I don't even think they really hit a move out. They just may have
he teased that he was gonna hit Humberto.
Yeah, and he didn't use it, but it's like it's there. It's something that it's taken them both out. So it's good that they still had that in there. And, this feud's gonna keep going. It's gonna be on Mania for sure. I think Humberto will, next time they go at a pay-per-view, which would be WrestleMania, I think
get that U.S. title.
So I think it's time for him to do it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sure.
I think he's done the work. It's just tough because he doesn't have a mouthpiece like Andrade. They're both these guys.
Selena.
Yeah, both of these guys don't speak English that well, so it's kind of tough for them. So I don't know if maybe Mysterio becomes kind of his guy. Humberto's guy could be just to translate a little bit for him because on the mic, he doesn't speak English that well, so it's a problem.
Yeah. And Selena Vega taking the belt and like just hauling ass out of the way, like that was a fun little.
Yeah,
she was like just wobbling because she had her heels on.
Heels
so
on.
That was,
I thought she was gonna crack a heel and bust her ass.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you gonna bust her ass, but now
I do like the little choker that says muñeca on it.
Muñeca,
I do like that because
it's aggressive, but I like it.
Yeah, it gives a little like it gives her a little like edge to it, a little bit more edge and more of like a I don't know, like a person you just kind of get mad at when you see, like, she's like kind of bitchy.
She's a heel.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that muñeca, that choker, kind of helps her out. But Andrade gets the win, retains the title. The next match was just number one takeaway of the night, the Chamber match for the SmackDown titles. Now, I'm not a fan of tag team Chamber matches. Like, this is a recent thing, right? We used to do this in SmackDown versus Raw, or like the 2K series in the beginning, because they had added tags, but it was 6-mans inside the Chamber. But this is like teams of 2, so it's a lot of moving parts. And the problem with this is that spots take a long time to get set up, so a lot of guys are standing around. It's kind of awkward, and a lot of guys are just laying down because they got knocked out of the ring, so other guys can hit their spots and the camera can focus on each guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's my problem with these matches.
Yeah, and there was a few botches. Even Kofi slipped off the top rope. He slipped off the top rope,
yeah. And Corey even brought light to it. It was like, you don't really see Kofi. He's usually sure-footed.
He never messes up. So it was just, and then Grand Metalik had a bunch of crazy moves, but as soon as he comes in the ring, him and Lance Rod do like the whole jump off the top rope into Herman Carvana's into the New Day, and Metalik just falls right on top of misses it and power bombs himself basically.
So
his big ass is like trying to sell it. You're just like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the match started with the New Day and the Usos in the ring, and then here comes Lucha House Party, and then after Lucha House Party was Miz and Morrison, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then it was Heavy Machinery, and then the final team was obviously Ziggler and Rude because they won that tag team gauntlet match on SmackDown. Now there was crazy spots, right? So Metalik hits that really cool Hurricane Rana on Morrison from the top of the Chamber.
But Morrison, you could tell, is like
he's waiting for it. So Metalik had to be a little faster with it. Those things kind of throw you out the match a little bit.
But it's a timing.
If you're an astute wrestling fan, you notice these things. They tend to take you out more than the casual fan.
Yeah.
So
that's where that Daniel Bryan match comes back. You're just like, just that keeps you
crisp,
withdrawal the entire time.
Everything's on point. So that's what happens. Now, he hits that crazy Hurricane Rana. And then one of the things that bothered me the most about this match, like I really thought it was a really good and entertaining and fun match, right? But the thing that bothered me, so Otis is in the ring. He's on the outside. And for some reason, Lince Dorado gets on top of the turnbuckle, but that connector piece that connects the post to the turnbuckle, right? He's standing on top. And he's just standing there. And I'm wondering, like, why is he going to jump? And Otis kind of turns back and, like, looks at him a little bit. I'm like, is he forgetting what he's supposed to do?
Yeah, I think he had a brain fart.
Yeah, and then he eventually climbs the pod, which is a lot of climbing of the pods now in this event, right? In both chamber matches.
Well, because now they built them. Like,
they built them purposefully so you can do that.
And have the glass so the fans can see what they're doing and stuff now. So,
So it's a little more interactive. But so he climbs up finally on top of the pod, and then the camera zooms in hard, right? And then I see Otis a lot. Now, you said everybody, but I noticed only Otis, which kept looking up at the rod to see what he was doing.
Like, The Miz was literally just, like, swinging at I don't know who and just, like, looking up. And, like, they were all looking up. Like, Kofi was looking up. They were all looking up.
And the shit got awkward because it felt – for me, the fucking thing felt awkward because it kept zooming in. And you're, like, waiting. I'm assuming this guy's climbing the cage. Yeah. I'm assuming because the way they cut in the zoom.
And, the weirdest part was, why is there a pileup of all the dudes just
and they're just waiting
punching
there,
each other? Like, what are they doing?
And you can tell they're, like, looking and then waiting. And it was a spot that threw me out. I mean, amazing spot from Lince Dorado. He was able to monkey bar his way all the way. So he's on the top of in the corner, goes across, and then goes up to the middle, and then does like a shooting star off the top and lands on everybody.
Well, first he's like, let me just swing and get some momentum.
Yeah, momentum. Yeah, because he probably would have killed himself if he didn't swing.
Basically, and I literally he almost because like he missed half the dudes. I don't even know.
Yeah, he did. He missed a lot.
Somebody's supposed to catch him, and nobody were like, "Fuck that."
Oh, but then check this out, because he does that, hits everybody, and then Metalik gets pinned right after he does it.
Yeah, it's like you just like use the spot, and your team's fucking out of there.
Yeah. So he hits that spot, but it was awkward, and the part that pissed me off was like towards like when everybody piles up in the middle and waiting, you hear Michael Cole was like, "Do you see what Lince Dorado's doing?" I was like, "So you're telling me that you didn't see him for almost a minute scale that entire thing, and you're gonna call
you're right there, bro. Like I'm sure the fans all saw this guy because also get the dog pile guy.
It takes me out of it. It takes me out of it. But like I said, it wasn't an entertainment match yet.
I mean, it's still fun. It's still fun. It's just sometimes like when you have that many guys, it's just like. I mean, that spot might have been a little more realistic and better planned out if you didn't have to put everyone besides Dorado in the pod. Maybe have like 3 or 4 guys sitting there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
honestly, if you had eliminated some teams at that point, then that spot happens.
or just have some guys wrestling in the corner, or
because Morrison's done that spot before. I've seen Morrison do that spot before, but it was in like a singles, not singles, but like not a tag set up in the chamber.
Like less guys, 6 guys, and that's what it was. Yeah,
and you could set it up a little bit better. Now it's tougher in this chamber because how much bigger it is. Morrison did it on the old chamber, which is a little shorter on the top, and you remember because when I remember RVD and he broke Triple H's face. Remember when he did the frostbite?
Yeah.
I think it was the first chamber or the second one.
So one of the first 2.
Yeah. So when he got on top of the chamber, he can't stand up straight.
Yeah, he was like that.
Old chamber, you had to like kind of like duck. So it was a little simpler and easier to set up. But on this one, it's more difficult. But let's get back to the match. Heavy Machinery is over, especially Otis.
Hell yeah. Otis. I mean, as soon as he came in, they were just going, Otis. Yeah. He was the most over guy in the match.
Otis is like the lovable kind of goofy guy. And then Tucker is kind of like his big brother type and kind of like always looking out for him and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a real good dynamic they have.
And Tucker, he showed out this match with the whole diving off a top.
He did that senton off the top. That was a nice
and that's a big boy. I really pay attention to it's been more about Otis, not so much about Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker's kind of been there. But he can go. He had his time to shine too, where he was taking out who am I thinking about? Ziggler and Rude.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good little spot after he did.
But before that, the reason it happened was because there showed a little bit of physicality between Otis and Ziggler. Now, you've been wanting to get Otis to get his hands on Ziggler because of the whole Mandy Rose situation, right? So they had a little tiny bit of physicality, so they teased it. Obviously, a Mania match is happening, whether it be singles or tag, right? So it looks like Otis is going to smash Dolph Ziggler. Even I said he's going to throw him right through the pod.
Yeah.
He runs at Ziggler. Ziggler sidesteps. And this guy goes through both sections of that plastic glass. Now, the second one scared me because, that plastic glass or that plastic sheet, the edges, they can cut you. So the thing fell right on top of the Spanish announce table. And I was like,
flew out. Like, it was like flinging out. Like,
I'm
not sure if he was supposed to go. I mean, he probably was supposed to go through.
Yeah.
But
maybe he went through it too hard and it shot out. I mean, they got lucky because
it was a bit awkward that match. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know if it was his first chamber match. But he was a bit lost at points. But
him and Heavy Machinery and Tony, I think they're performance center guys. So I don't think they have a ton of experience. So a little bit of greenness shows on them a little bit.
Yeah, we're not stat guys. We should look this up, but we're just not gonna have the time for that. But we don't think they were on the Indies. We don't remember hearing them about the Indies.
No. Like I said, I think they're performance center guys that were tried out and they got contracts, stuff like that. But
if you know, good for you.
So pat on the back for knowing that shit.
Yeah, awesome. Clap it up.
So after he flies out the chamber and lands on the outside, he's knocked out, and then that's when Tucker, gets all fired up at Ziggler and Rude, and he goes 1v2 against them. But then, they end up getting the upper hand on him, and they end up pinning Tucker. So that's the end of Heavy Machinery in this match.
And you just got Zig doing a little princess goodbye to Otis. And just fuck you, Ziggler.
Yeah. So I mean that was kind of rough. But that Mania match is coming, and Ziggler's going to get his from Otis. Now, what is probably going to include Mandy Rose. So we'll see how that storyline plays out. Whether they do remember when it was Jericho and Christine with Trish, and she screwed Chris Jericho at Mania. So maybe that's something like that can happen.
Hopefully that's the way it works out. Because if the chubby dude gets the hottest chick, I mean,
it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Storyline.
Like it's
always heartwarming storyline.
It is, yeah. So the winners of the match are Miz and Morrison. They retain. They pin the Usos, the last team, to get the win. I'm assuming WrestleMania will have like a multi-man tag match for these titles again.
Yeah, probably like a triple threat, I would say.
Because
I don't think there are rivals coming back. So
because you have Heavy Machinery. Yeah, because I was saying like Lucha House Party. I don't think it should have been in this match. It should have been Revival, but I guess they have contract issues. Like they've been saying they haven't signed, so they look like they're AEW bound most likely. So that's probably going to happen. So with them being out of the picture, whether they do a 4-way with Ms. Morrison, the Usos, New Day, and then I guess add Lucha House Party, unless the Revival signed a contract magically, or they do a triple threat and they just remove Lucha House Party.
Lucha House Party aren't exactly your favorite tag team, and they're probably not going to, get too many wins, but they're just there for the spots. And in a match like with that many guys again, it's probably if you're going to do it, you can see why they would put them in there.
Yeah,
it's WrestleMania. You want to see some crazy. memories, and those guys can fly. So
could be a ladder match, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Could be,
Maybe
yeah.
like
I mean,
four-way
make
ladder
it something
match.
exciting because they haven't had like a Money in the Bank style since they made Money in the Bank at pay-per-view. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had the one where, remember, when they were in Orlando and the Hardys returned, so they had that was a ladder match.
Okay, yeah. No, that was awesome.
So
and
you
that's
can
the
do
highlight
something-
of that Mania.
Yeah, exactly. That was like the biggest thing in that Mania. So
Yeah.
maybe you could do a multi-man tag, and make it a ladder match, something like that. But we'll see how that plays out.
But Miz and Morrison definitely feel like just placeholders for that belt. I think like we've seen them for so long, and I know they broke up and he was gone for a long time, but did we really need to see them as tag champs? No, I don't really feel like they need to be tag champs at the moment.
Yeah. So like, who do you give it to now? You give it back to the Usos. You give it to the stalwarts, Usos, and New Day, I guess, to hold them again.
Yeah. I would say. I mean, I really want to see Otis and
but at this point they would have to drop the belts.
Some number two now
beforehand just to get that.
Yeah.
But I think
could happen.
To be honest with you, I think Otis is going to take Ziggler 101 at Mania.
You think?
With Tucker on the side and Rude on the other side.
I don't know. It's just like because they're tag team, so you just again.
But the story is really Ziggler, Ziggler, Otis, and Mandy. That's a story right there. And Rude and Tucker kind of on the waist out. Tucker a little bit more, not as much on the outside of it because he has that. He feels like that. He comes off as that big brother to Otis.
Yeah, so, I mean, we'll see. I mean, but definitely, there's not much going on SmackDown, so this is one of those storylines that at least has us intrigued. Hopefully, now that the Elimination Chamber is over, SmackDown will start getting some storylines. But for right now, that's the only interesting one. So, all in all, not the greatest Elimination Chamber match in the history of Elimination Chambers, but it was a fun one. Definitely had some fun spots. Not like he's too many botches, but sometimes they make you laugh. So there was a couple of ones that were kind of funny for me. Yeah. So I was okay with that.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
So, good match. Next match is the takeaway number 2 of the night, and it's AJ versus Aleister Black in the no DQ match. This match we were supposed to get on Monday Night Raw, but then they had a bunch of little smodge things in it where you had to face the whole Steve, which is, I mean, it sucked, but now you see that the first actual encounter pays off, to me anyways. Now, the crowd, you said, was a letdown because they had fatigue.
Well, I mean, we've been to events like this, and usually if there's like a huge match, that kind of like your energy, the crowd gets flat for like 1 or 2 matches. So you knew I knew right after, like the crowd was flat. They didn't
needed
really get
a buffer in between.
Yes, like this is back in the day where you would put like the divas, in there, like with
I think they should have put the 3-on-1 handicap match
here because that match just was never going to be that good.
Yeah,
and then you could have got the energy back in the crowd, would have been so much better, but. Yeah. I mean, it was what it was. Yeah. It was a good match. Both guys really laid their shit.
It was like saying it continues the trend of the pay-per-view where everybody was like real physical. Every match was physical.
Everybody was insanely physical.
The knees here, the kicks here from both guys, the knees from Aleister Black and the kicks from AJ. Well, everything AJ does, I'm just going to say this right now, is the wrestler of the decade, right? Voted. Everything this man does looks absolutely pristine, on point, and has so much attention to detail with every single one of his moves. Every single one of his mannerisms, every single one of the moves he takes, the way he sets everything up is absolutely amazing. Now, to me, I said this on a previous video that I thought he's the best wrestler I've personally ever seen and the best wrestler of the past 10 years. And obviously, he's been voted as the best wrestler of the decade.
Yeah. I mean, he's up there with Shawn as like –
It's just –
I mean,
Shawn everything because it goes back to Shawn. Everything they do is so on point, so crisp. It looks great. Everything they do just looks – And they never mess up. Like every move doesn't look like they never botch anything. Everything looks like you said crisp. It's just these guys were born to be wrestlers. Yeah, and they can go and they make any match good. Like Shawn can make with big guys, small guys. It doesn't matter. They can just go. And AJ's the same thing. And AJ's like his match against Shinsuke. Right, we were all souped about it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it was a letdown.
It was a letdown, but it wasn't a bad match. I think it's just because they didn't have enough time to set everything up.
Yeah.
But even in his not so good matches aren't bad matches by any stretch of the imagination.
No, they aren't. They aren't at all.
But back to this match, like I said, it was physical. The running knees that Aleister Black hits look great. Those V-trigger knees that he hits was just awesome.
Those things are ridiculous.
Right? He had a really nice one where AJ was on the top rope, and I think Aleister Black ran and gave him a running knee off the top rope. It was really, really good. You were talking about the kendo stick stuff, right?
Well, I always like when you have a weapon, you show the weapon to everybody. Everybody's like, look at the freaking weapon I got. And then either he drops it by mistake or he gets it kicked out of his hands, which happened here where AJ just pretty much kicked them out of the ring. And it sat there, and then you forget about it. And then you're not focused. It's like 4-3 3 or 4 minutes down the road of the match, and they come back in, and oh shit, there's a kendo stick again. Then he starts using it when he's in the calf crusher.
Mm-hmm.
I always like that type of stuff, but always as an old school, I just like it.
I like it,
you know.
But I do like the calf crusher, and then he's using the calf crusher. We get that right. Easy for me to say, right?
Get it out, buddy.
And then he uses the Aleister Black uses the kendo stick and squishes it like on AJ Styles' face to get out of it. So it was a nice, cool way of using that weapon that was teased a while ago and getting out of a submission that looked like. And then AJ was wrenching it. Remember, because he was rocked back and forth with the calf crusher.
It looked like I haven't seen him do it like that.
Usually it was a nice touch for him to do it. Yeah, because it looked like he had some aggression right there, a mean streak.
Again,
you know
just guys, so good. Like those little things that make it so good. There's only a handful of guys right now in the world that do that type of stuff. Yeah, and it's just like, I can think of Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Jericho. They just know what they're doing. And
I mean, like,
it makes it that much better.
It's just a track record of this, because remember we used to watch. I mean, we didn't. God knows what channel TNA was on back then. But we used to watch it on Comcast on demand. You used to have like the couple paper events, and you see the X Division matches before they got a spike. Before they got the spike.
Yeah, before they got a spike. Yeah.
When they got Sting and Spike before that, you used to have the X Division matches with AJ, and we used to watch those things on
Christopher Daniels.
Joe's on those things. From back then, Williams. From then we were saying like, oh my God, this guy's amazing at everything he does. Everything he did was so clean. But now you look at him all these years later, and he's still doing it and even better.
Yeah, and as Conrad Thompson would say, he's 43 years old.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
but
guys like that.
We liked him so much that we created his ass in a bunch
of the wrestling games.
Because we just wanted him. We wanted him to be so bad.
We wanted him in there big time.
And like he was finally back then, like if you've never seen AJ Styles, like a younger AJ Styles, he's really good right now. Like he's the best ever been, but he used to do some moves that.
Yeah, he was. He was a little more athletic back then.
Yeah, like when you remember that crazy tope he used to do, where he used to outside the ring where he jump on the top rope, do like a crazy flip out into everybody. Like those things were absolutely nuts. He was so good.
And he used to do the shooting star press from like inside the ring to the out. Yeah,
I think there's a video on YouTube of like his best 20 moves or something like that. You should YouTube it. That thing is sick moves, man. That guy was a beast back in the day, and he's still so good right now.
Yeah. So like again with the match, the nice cool spot was the double knees to the table that Aleister Black did. He hit him with the double knees, whatever the fuck that move's called, the Meteoria, whatever the hell they call it.
Matoda, if you know, good for you.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that move is called. Double knees that I see Sasha Banks do, right? So double knees, boom, and then right to the table, right? The OC interference was left to the end of the match, which I liked. They teased a little bit. They were walking around and looking like they were a little bit, couple distractions here and there, but the beatdown ensues. Then the lights. As soon as the lights cut out, there's a massive, massive pop. Huge pop for Taker. Because as soon as the lights went out, that place went nuts because they knew Taker was coming out. And he's got both these guys. So the lights turn on, and Taker's got both Gallows and Anderson, just like Michael showed. They're choking. Yeah, it looked like they're getting gagged in a porno.
Basically, it was like, what's up with this weird three-way going on over here? So he's like a warrior just looking with his
So AJ set up for the phenomenal forearm, then bounces off the top of the springboard, and he comes down and gets caught in the chokeslam, gets chokeslam, the lights cut out. They come back, Taker's gone. Here comes Aleister Black, hits the Black Mass kick on AJ. Now, that Black Mass always looks good, the kick, right? Because Aleister Black is so good at it. But I want to talk about
the gifted striker.
Yeah, the educated feet. As they used to say about X-Pac, right, boy?
Fuck that guy.
I really do like the feed from AJ into this Black Mass because he does the groggy feed and he takes it and he drops to the floor like a sack of shit. Yeah. Amazing sell from AJ. I just love the feed into it. It's just another thing that AJ does that he does so well. And, I give him all the credit in the world and all the respect in the world as to how good he is in that ring and everything he does.
But, and I'm excited for him and Taker. I mean, I know Taker's not the same Taker as he's been, but
I heard that Undertaker specifically requested this match because he sees him as the Shawn Michaels of this generation.
Of course,
and he wants to get in the ring because he had so many good matches with Shawn Michaels. He wants to get in the ring with AJ Styles, before he stops wrestling and stuff like that.
Never, because at this point he's retired. He's retired 10 times.
Well, I'm assuming I think AJ will retire before Taker does it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Taker I mean, if the put in the hat in Orlando a few years ago and the King wasn't the end, then what the fuck is the end of this guy? He's literally gonna have to die for real for
exactly.
He's like Vince. They're gonna go till they die.
That's probably the gimmick he says. He's actually gonna have to die for real for him to get out of wrestling.
I mean, That's basically the only thing that's gonna happen.
But it was a no
excited for that
DQ.
match.
It was a no DQ match. So the beatdown from OC and the weapons used obviously, and Taker showing up and chokeslamming AJ didn't end the match. So the Black Mass is hit. Boom. Aleister Black gets a huge win with the assistance, obviously, of The Undertaker. So I don't know what Aleister Black is going to get into at WrestleMania. We obviously know it's AJ Taker. I doubt they're going to make it a triple threat. I definitely doubt that.
It
That's
doesn't
not
go.
gonna happen.
No. Taker in a triple threat, please. Come on, right? Mania.
So I'm not sure what the hell Aleister Black is gonna do at Mania, but he finally, he had two really good matches against Buddy Murphy or Murphy, whatever the hell they're just calling him now. They usually like to get rid of that first name. And then obviously he has the AJ Styles match, and he had a good match against Eric Rowan that I thought was well done on a Monday Night Raw. That was hard hitting and physical. This guy's really good. He was obviously good in NXT. He needs a storyline or a feud to get into for this Mania. I don't want him seeing him as an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal guy.
He's got right now. He's got the Finn vibes going. He just doesn't have anything going on right now. Like they're gonna have to form at the moment.
I think maybe they got to give him more like character development because he just seems like a guy at this point.
I mean,
a cool entrance.
And he doesn't really have a promo.
He had those promos where he was just there talking about who's gonna knock on your door, or he was gonna knock on your door. Like he's looking for a challenge like that. It's like very bland.
But we'll see.
I want them to give him more, but I guess we're gonna have to wait till after Mania.
Let's see. I think after the Mania shakeup, I think we'll see. But right now, this isn't his Mania.
Well, if Vince had any doubts of Aleister Black, I think this match should have erased any doubts because it was such a good match.
I don't think it's doubts. I just think there's a lot of storylines going on, and there's so many guys, and there's just such little time to give these guys. Like, I mean, I know they have 87 shows a week, but like, it's just he's taking a backseat right now, but. It's not the end of
I hope he gets his time somewhere in the the
Will. I think he will. I'm sure after Mania, like SummerSlam, I think he'll be a major player for sure. He's still good. Yeah, still good.
So that was the second takeaway. Our next match was a good match. It was a string of good matches in the show. It was the Street Profits versus Rollins and Murphy for the Raw Tag Titles. Obviously, we know that Monday Night Raw this past Monday, Street Profits won the titles in Newark. They're in Philadelphia, same type of fan base.
Brooklyn.
I'm sorry,
Brooklyn guy. God damn it, get her right, kid.
They were in Brooklyn, now in Philadelphia. Obviously, same type of fan base, same raucous crowd.
Smarks, man. Smarks.
Yeah, super fans. Over the Street Profits are with both these crowds. This was a good solid match, but Montez Ford continues to shine. Even though I think his over the top facials and yelling, I think can get kind of tiring after a while. I think he should cut back a little bit on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows personality, but it can get kind of annoying, and it comes off a little heelish sometimes. Because it's not really like a babyface thing to do.
I can see that, but I don't know. It's just again, I think the other guy, Dawkins, Angelo Dawkins doesn't have as much. He's the Stevie Ray of the group, if we're being honest. Yes, so he doesn't have he doesn't have like the charisma. Like he's charismatic, he is, but he doesn't have he's not blowing out of him. Yeah. So I think he's kind of making up for a little bit and being extra, which I'm okay with. But I think the highlight of the match was when Kevin Owens came out with the popcorn, and he probably stole some of the thunder from all the guys in the ring. But that part where he's in the popcorn, if you didn't see it, you have to go back and see. He's literally like pointing, like Rollins is in his face, and he's pointing like this. And
here comes Angelo Dawkins, like
bang, it just explodes, and which leads to the end of the match.
With
Murphy does that dive.
When he does the dive and Montez Ford does that frog splash and gets the win over Buddy Murphy, so they retain. Also in this match, AOP interfered a little bit. Here come the Viking Raiders, right? Mm-hmm. And then they fight the Viking Raiders and AOP all the way to the back. So there's something probably going to happen between them at the pre-show, most likely at WrestleMania, because the Viking Raiders had the pre-show at this pay-per-view as well against Hawkins and Ryder. So they may get a pre-show match versus AOP at WrestleMania, most likely. And I don't know who the Street Profits will actually face. Maybe another multi-man tag match for this tag team titles because they want to get guys on the show.
But that's a lot of the same match if they're going to do it. I mean, we'll see. But
they don't have like a feud because we obviously know the plan is Rollins versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that's obviously the plan. That's obviously
another stunner after Rollins is like, "What happened? What did you do, Murphy?" And all of a sudden he turns around and
gets stunnered, and then Kevin Owens leaves, popcorn in hand, throws popcorn all over, and Buddy Murphy on the outside and leaves. Right. So
I mean, Kevin Owens is the man. Let's be honest.
He is the man. Yeah. So it's good to see him in a big feud. So that's obviously the match. We're gonna see where all these other guys fit in towards the Mania card as we go on.
We'll see. I mean, it's all speculation at the moment. We have no idea what's going on.
That was that match. Street Profits retain the tag titles. The next match is for the IC title. I'm going to preface this by saying we didn't like this whatsoever. I don't like the storyline either. Story mode. I think we're talking about too much about fucking
guys. Jesus, you're in video games. Get your shit straight. God damn it.
We had a 3v1 handicap match. Braun Strowman, the IC champion, versus Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura. This match was what it was. Tough match to work because you got Braun Strowman facing 3 other guys in a tag format. And Braun Strowman's obviously the monster, so they got to all team up on him. This whole storyline I'm not a fan of. The whole story itself I'm not a fan of. The only person that shines out of this is Sami Zayn. And Braun with the IC title never made sense to me because he just doesn't seem – he's either the world champ or just a monster that's an attraction and beats up on people. I don't see him as like an IC title guy.
No, I agree. I mean, he's just again, this like you said, this is the first time for his first belt. He had lost a lot of matches before.
A lot of world title matches, yeah.
World title matches and title matches. So yeah, you give him the belt. It's okay. He's one of those guys you don't need the belt. He's just so goddamn big. What is the belt gonna do? Plus the belt looks small on him anyway. Him
wearing it around his waist is a weird look too. I think he should wear it on his shoulder. Not even the shoulder. I think he should just carry it around with him because it looks weird. A big ass guy like that with something around his waist like that.
And the match was what it was. It wasn't any of the guys' fault. We like all the guys. All the guys are great. They can all go. I mean, Braun's is what he is. But again, it just doesn't make any sense. We don't like those matches are hard. They're just hard. They're just hard to do, especially when it's like not when you have to tag in each other. It makes it even more difficult.
Yeah.
And they try to make it funny and like more heelish, where Sami has the promo in the beginning where like, you know what, guys, I'm not gonna need to tag you guys. You guys should stay in the apron.
Yeah.
This match is gonna be all me. And then he comes literally a minute into the match, he's already tagging.
Yeah, but it is good to see Sami Zayn in the ring and having a match, whether if he didn't do a whole lot, but it's good to see him in there. So the match ends with a Kinshasa to Braun Strowman in the corner, and then Sami Zayn picks up the win. He becomes the IC champion. So good to see him have a belt finally, his first belt since, I guess, his NXT championship win.
Yeah,
short-lived because he had it.
Well, here's a stat for you, and I got this from WWE.com. Another stat here. Stat miner, baby. 2015.
Too frequent.
Yeah, I know, but like sometimes you gotta have some type of like legitimacy. So
his first title since 2015?
2015 when he was actually champ. Yep.
There you go.
So 5 years.
There's the stat right there for you. But
baby.
You know, for me right now it just seems like Sami Zayn's the leader of the group, and then Shinsuke and Cesaro are just kind of side characters at this point.
And they're lackeys. Like who's gonna just be like, oh, you're gonna take the pin? Like, fuck off. Like I want the belt. Like that's the way it should be. But
I think like it's good to see. Like I said, it's good to see Sami Zayn in a match get the title. Hopefully, he's able to defend it in singles matches. You can see me in the ring again. I just wish Nakamura, Cesaro were doing more and more featured. I mean, they're on every SmackDown, right?
But they're just lackeys at the moment.
Yeah, I just wish they were like by themselves and higher up on the card and you know, doing more. I think it's just more like
too good. They're too good.
Yeah, they're too good. And I think it's a disservice to them to just have them doing this. And I don't know. I mean, it didn't work. I didn't like the match. It was just I didn't like a 3v1. I didn't like it. They could have done a 1v1, one-on-one match, whereas Sami Zayn versus Braun, and then these two guys interfere and cause Braun to lose the match. So
but there was a lot of that already, so it's like you need to have that.
It's a tough. But we didn't like the match in general. Yeah, we didn't like it. It was the weakest match.
Not the guy's fault. Not the guy's fault. The guys are all the guys are good.
Definitely not the guy's fault. It's story and everything built into it. Yeah,
it's blah.
Now, this is the worst match of the night in a strong card, right? So the next match is takeaway number 3 of the night, our final takeaway. It's the main event. It's the women's chamber match to see who faces Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title. We all know the people in it. The match started between Ruby Riott
and let me cut in real quick. Like the entrances for both of those things, they literally took like it was 2 Raws. I mean, it's like just get in the ring and that's it. Like we don't need to see them like they gotta walk to somebody that's inside the cage or anything.
Talk shit to them. Yeah.
It's like get in the fucking ring. Like it's 30 minutes to get the goddamn match to go. No one cares.
And the way this match was set up too, that hurts it too. Because I mean, not to say it was a bad match. It was a good match. I do like the way they worked it. Okay, so it starts with Ruby Riott and Natalya in the ring. Then Sarah Logan's the next entrant in. They're brawling. And then here comes Shayna Baszler. So Shayna Baszler gets in. And this is one of the most savage shit I've ever seen anybody. This is Brock Lesnar level savagery right here.
Yeah.
So she obliterates Sarah Logan. She hits that move where she has her laying on top, and then she flips her over, and she hits that knee, and then she just chokes her out, Sarah Logan. And I really do like. You see this a lot in this match. You saw this a lot. Baszler's submission holds. She really gets that shit in there deep, and it looks good. So she makes Sarah Logan tap out. But she does the same exact thing to Ruby Riott. Within 10 seconds, she eliminated 2 girls already. Then, goddamn, I feel so bad for Natalia because she took a fucking beating in this match.
Oh my god, from everyone.
Before Shayna Baszler even gets in the match,
so much pain today.
You know, she takes these double knees again from Sarah Logan, and she falls back into one of the pods. That shit looked like it
dressed
hurt.
like Skinner for some reason.
Yeah, it's just like Skinner.
It has that weird, like, she just starts yelling. I don't know.
So,
maybe that'll get over. I don't know.
Yeah.
But for me,
so she takes those double knees from Sarah Logan, and it looks like it hurt her bad, right? Like in her chest and stuff like that. Then later on, Sarah Logan jumps off the pod with a crossbody type of Ruby Riott and Natalia.
All her head.
And it's all like leg, knee that hits Natalia in the face.
And even Jerry Lawler was like, "Ugh, hit her in the face."
Yeah, hit her. That looks so bad. And then I don't know what's up. Like they put extra mics in for the chamber matches. You can hear everything everybody was saying. You can hear Natalia at that point when she got hit in the face, calling a spot or telling Ruby Riott and Logan to get in the ring to leave her out there. Cause I think she was kind of
like she was feeling it.
Yeah, she was feeling it. And then here comes Shayna Baszler, takes out Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott. Then she goes after Natalia and starts bashing her with the pod door.
Evil looking.
Right. Well, first she
just
threw
violent.
First she threw her into the pod. She she hit that pod hard, and then she gets her in between the door and just starts smashing that door into her,
like destroying her,
and then chokes her out. I felt so bad for Natalia because she's like such a nice person, and she got beat up bad.
And she's been there for like 15 years, it feels.
Yeah,
and like, that's what she gets. She gets like just like fucking destroyed.
She got beat bad in that match. She got hit hard. A lot of.
And Shayna Baszler
feeling
is like
bad today, yeah.
Like she's just a badass. Like she's a badass, but they made her like the biggest badass ever.
Because there were rumors, right? So we're gonna get into the rumor mill, which we don't like to get into. The rumor mill was that Vince wasn't really happy with her performance against Kairi Sane on Monday Night Raw, and I guess they booked this match this way to show her as being a credible opponent and a credible headliner for her match against Becky Lynch.
Well, they did it because she's the biggest.
She was like Brock Lesnar out there.
Like she's more of a badass around than Brock Lesnar is.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a bigger badass around the company after that match than him. Yeah. And then that weird pause where you have to sit there and wait for everybody to come out. That's the
problem, right? So
I thought that was okay though. I thought that was, like you've never seen that before.
It takes a while. So we're gonna play into that. So it takes a while so right now it's Shayna Baszler in the ring by herself, and she's looking at the adjacent pods, which is Asuka in one corner and Liv Morgan in the other corner. Now remember, Liv Morgan had the beef with Ruby Riott, and they never touched in this match.
Never touched.
So obviously that's going to be more likely of a women's battle royal feud that might blow off there or something like that.
Just four on in the battle royals.
So she's there in the middle of the ring, Shayna Baszler, waiting for the next person to come out, and it's the intervals take a while. So the next person to come out is Liv Morgan, which I feel bad for as well because she got obliterated to the point where.
Oh man, she was swinging him.
She was swinging her by the legs and smashing her into the cage. And so the one into the pod looked bad.
Like looked bad. And she had her hands up here, but like still, like her shoulder probably felt that.
And then in front of Asuka, who was talking so much shit that you can't even understand, but she was talking shit, right?
I'm not sure if that's Japanese or a different dialect of Japanese.
Well, you were telling me that Nakamura says that she talks like a different type of dialect.
Yeah, like there was an interview with Shinsuke. I was like, they're different. Like he's from where's he from? Kyoto, Japan, and she's from.
I don't know where she's from. Yeah,
I don't know where she's from, but like supposedly, like he was like she speaks a different Japanese that I don't even understand sometimes. So if he doesn't get it, and then like we're just hearing gibberish, like it's literally blah, 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 the whole time in that pod, and you could hear like just made no sense. But
whatever. So we don't know what she was saying, but we're assuming she was talking a lot of shit, right? So in front of Asuka's pod, Shayna Baszler literally hangs
so bad.
Liv Morgan up by the neck and just chokes her out. And it just throws her like a sack of potatoes on the floor.
It was so bad, but it was so good though.
Yeah, man, that shit was savage. It was savage. So
I'm excited for this because of the way they booked her this match.
Here comes another long wait period while Shayna Baszler's just talking shit and pandering to the crowd, waiting for Asuka to come out. Asuka comes out, and it's the first time they've ever wrestled each other, but there was a couple missteps. Like you were saying that Asuka was supposed to duck under a clothesline, but she crashed into Shayna.
And I think it was more Shayna. Just she's a little rough and a little bit like not polished yet. I mean, because she's a cage fighter for real. Like she was a mixed martial artist, so it's the first time she's really in the WWE. It's her first time wrestling really. There was just more of just not communication, but just the flow and like the spacing and the timing was off. It was kind of iffy. Like she went for the hip.
The butt thing,
the butt thing, and like it just looked weird.
She took it weird, Shayna took it weird.
She's just weird, she's not crisp yet, and that happened over time. Not everybody's Ronda Rousey that just comes in and already looks good at everything.
Yeah. Now, I mean, what I do wish they had a bit of an exchange back and forth, but I do wish. I mean, Shayna was playing a lot on Asuka's wrist that was hurt, right?
Which I think now is a work from Monday.
Yeah, I thought it was for real, but it's not. And I just wish they had more of an exchange because Asuka was such a badass in NXT, and after her match with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, she just kind of fell off a little bit. Her mystique was lost.
She's in a tag team with Kurt.
So I kind of, which the tag team titles are useless now because they don't defend them. Nobody's going against them. There's not even a match for WrestleMania. But Asuka, I wish, just had a little bit more time to shine against Baszler and gave her more of a fight a little bit. I think it would have given her back a little bit more of that mystique that she's lost.
Yeah, and it's still believable because we all knew she was a badass.
I mean, because these are the most.
She was undefeated for whatever 900 days.
The two of the most dominant women to ever be in NXT.
Yeah,
Asuka and Shayna Baszler. I just kind of wish Asuka would look out a little bit more in. I know you're building Shayna Baszler, but just I don't know, Asuka. I just feel like maybe it's the language disconnect. English, but I mean
she's literally just gibbering in a corner. So
yeah, because her Japanese doesn't really sound like Japanese to me, anyways.
No,
but I just wish they would give her a little bit more. But they had a small exchange, and Shayna Baszler gets the win. She eliminated everybody in the chamber,
which has never been done before.
Yeah, I think Braun Strowman had 4 at one time, and he lost the match. Yeah.
No, but like I mean, if they wanted to book someone strong, I can't remember a time it was someone booked this strong.
Booked that one strong, yeah. Other than when what do you call it? Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena at SummerSlam.
Even then, this is still ridiculous.
That was against one guy. She choked out the 5 women right there. 5.
Basically, the only person she didn't choke out was Becky, and that could still be done at WrestleMania.
And that can still be done. Now I'm thinking this match at WrestleMania. All right, obviously we knew going in she was going to win the match. It was a foregone conclusion, right? Because you knew nobody else there was going to be up to par, to be up to the star level of Becky Lynch that headlined WrestleMania with her. Asuka, we saw at Rumble, so it wasn't going to happen again, right? Yeah. We all knew Shayna Baszler was going to win, so it kind of took a little bit off the match because you knew the outcome. But the way they booked it, Shayna Baszler dominating the shit out of everybody. Yeah. It's just, you're waiting for now. You're excited for that Mania match because I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit snug, that match. They're gonna lay their shit in. Yeah, it's gonna be a little rough.
I think Shayna knows how not to lay her shit in. Like she just lays her shit because, like I said, she's not a full. She's been doing this for 15 years, like Becky has.
So I do think that match is gonna be rough. That's gonna be a rough one. So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for that match. I think that's like out of all the main events, that's the one I'm most excited for.
I don't think it's gonna close the show. I still think Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar are gonna close it.
But I think that'll be the in between from.
That's gonna be a semi-main. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Goldberg, Reigns, then women's match, and then
or you could do women's match, Goldberg, Reigns to be the buffer in between because it'd be a short match. Most likely be a short match.
Yeah, you're very true.
And then you do Drew McIntyre because I think they want Drew McIntyre to close out the show as champion if he wins it, which I think he will. Yeah. But Baszler gets the win. We all knew that was happening. She gets her match at WrestleMania against Becky Lynch. Excited for that. Dominated the shit out of all these women. Unless there's a tag team title match for these women with Asuka, they all seem like battle royal people.
Yeah, there's not much battle royal, right? Don't think they'll be around for any singles match.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Ruby. I don't even think that's.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be like the feud they build up in the match.
They'll tell a story in the battle royal about it, and then lead on from maybe into the spring and the summer.
Maybe
we'll see what happens.
So I really did like the show. I was surprised at how much I liked the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, especially how bad SmackDown was. I mean,
best match of the night was Gulak and Daniel Bryan, hands down. I think we're both.
Watch that match. Go rewatch that match. I saw it twice. It was that good.
Go rewatch that match. I was super surprised by the entire card. Very well done. But now we got to get into the part where we name the shit that sucked. And obviously, I think right now already what we're going to name, and that is the 3v1 handicap match for the IC title. I hate the story. I think it obviously shines a light more on Sami Zayn because he's the top of that whole feud right now.
Which is fine, but Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Yeah, they're just there. I just like it kills me.
And then the stupidest part was like you made it feel like Shinsuke was the leader because he was the one that signed the contract on SmackDown, and then now Sammy's the guy. I don't know. It's just
I don't know. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like I'd rather have Shinsuke Cesaro in a feud than them.
Yeah, having them feud against each other or something like that. It would have been better. But the match it's just the concept 3v1 handicap. It's just like nobody wants to see that shit. And then cool for Sami Zayn to win the IC title because that shit should have been happened for Sami Zayn beforehand.
Well, he's been hurt a lot too.
He's been hurt a lot, but when he's been healthy, he should have just at least had a mid-card title because how good he is in the ring.
I mean, I think the best part of that match was the entrance where he's moshing behind Shinsuke.
Yeah.
That's
Funny
like the
shit.
highlight of that match. Yeah, like he's awesome. I mean, like the freaking guy dislocated his shoulder his first match on Raw.
On his entrance, yeah, I can
On his
see him.
entrance.
And he still
So
wrestled the hell of a match.
He
Yeah.
still wrestled a little match, and he had Brett call him in. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the shit that sucked. Bottom line, we didn't like that match. It was the worst match of the night on a strong card.
Really good show.
We have a really good show from top to bottom. The worst match is not even a bad match, but this one we didn't like whatsoever. I'd give it like a C- if I had to.
I'd give it a D just because I was kind of checked out too.
Yeah,
I was waiting for the women's chamber.
But like I said, they should have had this match after the tag team chamber. Should have been this match and then AJ after this. Just a buffer in between because I don't think anybody cared about this match, to be honest with you.
I know I didn't.
Yeah. And
not the slightest.
Yeah. So that's the shit that sucked. Sorry to say.
Sucked.
Nothing against the guys in the match. All guys
love
are great,
all the guys in the match.
But it's just the whole story and the match itself. A 3v1 handicap is tough, right? So tough to see. And obviously for them, it's obviously tough to do. But that shit sucked. So that's the video for today. 3 takeaways from Elimination Chamber, and overall really good show that we enjoyed a lot. Hit us up in the comment section below what you guys thought of the show, what your favorite match was, and what was it that you thought sucked on the show. If you're in agreement with us about the 3v1 handicap match, let us know in the comments.
I think that's a popular opinion.
Yeah, or hit us up on Twitter and let us know what you guys thought and what you guys see going forward for these matches and these guys that really don't. It doesn't seem like they have a Mania match set up. What do you guys predict for that? But thank you again for watching. 3 takeaways from Elimination Chamber, Radar 25, Michael, a.k.a. Fuentemania, whatever the fuck you want to call him, in 4K.
Later, Smarks.
And guys, remember.
It's all 4K, man. It's all 4K. Look at me.
Shut the fuck up. Remember, guys.
Shape up this week. You see that?
Remember, guys, if it doesn't work for you, brother, do not do the job. Peace out.